Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on the Lockup, a very special edition. I am your host, as usual, Sarah, out of Syracuse, New York. Joining me today are two of my co-hosts, got Bryan Bella out of Portland, Oregon, and DMC Grizzle, Daniel, out of Memphis, Tennessee. And with us on a very special edition of the Lockup, we have former Reality of Wrestling Diamonds Division Champion, Alex Gracia.
Hi! Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. How are you this fine day?
I'm good. So it's so dark over here because it just decided to rain in Texas today when it never rains. So it's kind of a gloomy day, but I'm just like, oh well, I'll just be cozy inside. That's okay.
Nothing wrong with that on a nice rainy day.
That's
Yes.
so funny because Portland is always rainy. I'm like, oh my God, there's sun.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's out there. It exists.
Meanwhile, here in Syracuse, it finally stopped snowing the past 2 days, and we have a little bit of sunshine.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no. Weather's so crazy.
And especially when we have all of us here from different parts of the country, it's like, oh, here's how my weather is today. And
Yeah, it's so crazy how you go somewhere else and it's just like, what? I'm not used to this. This happens here?
And it can be literally hours of change just to drive. 2 hours, you can completely be in a different environment.
Yeah, that's how it is in Texas for sure.
now you were in New York City not too long ago. Was there snow there at that point? I think you were in New York City.
I don't think so. I don't remember snow. I'm
sure from Texas, something you'd probably remember.
I would remember because anytime it's just a little bit cold, I'm just like, this is the worst. I can't deal.
So doing a little bit of research, I saw that you attended Texas A&M University. You went, studied a little bit of journalism and doing a radio host and production assistant. Is that something you hope to do? Are you trying to learn backstage wrestling, all that kind of stuff as well?
So it was just kind of when you go to college and you just have a list of things this is what you can choose from to do the rest of your life. That's a lot of pressure, but I was just what fits exactly what I think I would like to do. And I was like, oh, definitely something in sports and definitely something in entertainment and TV. So I pursued that. And I really thought I was going to be, I guess, get satisfaction from that because a lot of good things did happen for me in college and after college, but I was just still not that intrigued by it. And I was something was still missing, but I am beyond appreciative for the skills I was able to develop while I was there, because I think it does set me up for a lot of things that I have to do now. And I also love that it's that is an option for something I can do. And it's I can say that I have experience doing that. And it's something I studied. I love all parts of television, whether you're on camera or behind the camera. It's the people behind the scenes don't get enough credit for what they do and the hours they put in.
Daniel, you got something to say about that?
I work in TV. I work currently right now as an office PA on a show, and so I 100% feel that. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, it's the on talent, I don't know, if they get how many hours productions there before and just how stressful it is during I worked in the production rooms, or I've had to be behind the camera, and it's man, that's some of the hardest stuff I've ever had to do.
It's true. Yeah, those hours are pretty crazy, and you never quite really get used to it. You just kind of keep going. Yeah,
because it's different all the time. But that's what I loved about it. Is it was no 2 days were the same.
Keeps you on your toes for sure.
Kind of building off that a little bit. Your boyfriend, Scorpio Sky, has recently started a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Is that something you could see yourself doing, doing your own podcast?
So what's crazy is I actually had a podcast when I was in college, and it was called Unnecessary Commentary. And I got the whole idea because I wanted to, I would interview athletes and stuff, but I just thought it was so boring, and just asking them the same questions about stats and rankings and what are you going to do at your game next week? And I was like, I knew a lot of them like personally. And so I was like, there's just so much substance to like a lot of these people that people don't know. They just know them as like a football player or a soccer player or a basketball player. And so like I tried to do like unnecessary commentary, like just trying to get like a background story about them and just trying to get like more in depth of like what they like to do in their personal life and like what makes them a little bit more like personable to all of us, because they are just like us. And yeah, like I would love to be on like have some type of podcast where in doing that, like I can just like talk for days. So I'm doing that right now. So if I talk too much, just tell me to stop.
No, please, you're the guest of honor.
That is not possible.
Yeah. But yeah, he's so he picked it up so quickly, and just like the ideas he has, he's so like excited about it. And like I think that it really like shows in the shows that he's done so far. Like he has so many ideas, and I told him, I was like, you have to like fight for doing it your way. And I was like, if it's your podcast, you need to ask the questions you want to ask, because I was like, that's what's going to make it authentic, and that's what's going to make it different. And I think that he's done a really good job of really being himself, rather than when you go to a lot of businesses and it's like, okay, who do you need me to be and who do you want me to be?
Yeah, because fans are smart enough nowadays where if you're not authentic and true to yourself, they'll pick that up right away.
Oh yeah, it has to be real, because everyone can see right through that.
And I love how his show is just, it's not one set topic. It's all over the place, and it's a good variety.
Yeah, and I think that's what like intrigued him too. Like he's just like, it's kind of the same. It's like we don't talk about wrestling, and we've never been like a wrestling couple. So it's been weird like recently when we had to be at like AEW together. It's like, okay, I knew you wrestled and he knew I wrestled, but we don't really like do this together. But yeah, there's just so many other things like we both are interested in. Like his all-time favorite thing is like NBA, and he loves all that stuff, and I'm just like, oh, okay, makeup tutorials on YouTube and shopping. Like it's like we have so many interests. So that's cool that like we get to like, or just any time like we get to like share like those parts about us, and it's like other people can hopefully like relate to liking those things as well.
Sure. Now, how did you guys meet? So
it's weird. Like we actually met like over 2 years ago. And I'm trying to think of it. So he was like working for like Ring of Honor at the time, and like I was wrestling like in San Antonio, and pretty much we just went on a date like on the Riverwalk, and like it was like, oh, we like connected like that. Like it was just like, oh, we absolutely know. But like he lived in California and I lived in Texas, and in a few months later I was gonna be like leaving for Japan. So it was just like, yeah, our first date went great and everything is working out, but like it just doesn't seem like this is like the right time in our life. And it just would kind of happen like that. Like we would like run into each other when we were like in the same state or at the same event, and we're just like, this just works. And then but we would still always make the excuse, like it's like, oh, we don't live near each other, like we're so busy, like this isn't gonna work, of course this isn't gonna work, like it's too hard. And it just got to the point where it was just like, he was just like, screw this, I don't care, we're making this work, like I want to be with you. And it was like scary to jump into, because it's like I was still in Texas and stuff, but we're just like, okay, like let's manage this, like let's figure this out. And it's like, it's really exciting. Like now like we're looking for a home together, and it's just like, it's just one of those things that it's like, when you know, it doesn't matter like what road it took you to get there and how long it had to take you to like figure it out. Like we always knew, but we would make excuses for it. So now we're actually like, I feel like proving what we always knew.
Nice. So somebody told me to go back to what we were talking about earlier on makeup YouTube tutorials, which I'm a huge fan of. So somebody told me that you were a makeup artist at one point.
I was not, but that's a great compliment. I love doing other people's makeup. That's something like if I had time right now to like go pick up a job, like I would love to like hire me at the Mac counter, like, or just teach me. I just love like learning about like different techniques and makeup and just all that. Like I'm more of like, everyone will be like, how do you do this? How do you do this? And I'm like, well, the girl on YouTube told me this way. So I'm glad that I hopefully pulled it off.
Yeah, no. So one of the things that I do on the show is, so I've been in the beauty industry for 10 years. Awesome. I'm still a licensed cosmetologist. Although I went into the medical field, I still like my passion is still kind of the beauty industry. And one of the first things that I saw when I saw you was your hair was on point, your makeup was on point, your outfit was on point. I was like, who's she? I need to know everything about her. And I absolutely loved it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I think that's like something I love about like wrestling so much, that it's like, I feel like I can try crazy things like with my makeup or my hair, like whatever. And it's like, I really am able to like be myself, because I think like one of the things that like turned me off, like when I worked in actual like television, was I had to look like totally natural. Like as far as my hair couldn't even be over a certain length. I had to have it like natural colored. Like I started to like put like some like blonde, I had like brown black hair, and like I started to put like some like blonde in there. So I was like, I want to like be blonde right now, but it was like, okay, no, like let's go back to brown hair. And it's just like, oh, like I want to be able to like do what I want to do. And
boring.
Yeah, and it's like that's how like we are able to like live like our true authentic selves, is by like being able to wear the clothes we want to wear. Like if we want to wear makeup, we can wear makeup. Like if we want to get Botox, we can get Botox. Like whatever makes us happy, I think is like what we should be allowed to do. And like I love just finally like in wrestling, like feeling a sense of like freedom as far as like how I can express myself.
So I want to get to one of the tough questions here.
No problem.
So we've seen you in AEW past 2 years. We saw you in Impact last year, and NWA you're starting back up with this year. Has there been any contract negotiations with any of them for like a permanent home?
No, and like so there were a lot of things happening like last summer, and that's when I had like just gotten back from Mexico. I was like on my second year, and I was just like, oh, this is the year. Like I was like, there's no way I'm not getting a contract. Like in my head, I was like, something's gonna work out. And I think what when I went to Mexico, I got myself out of the habit of, so many wrestlers feel like the only way I make it is if I have a contract. Like that's like indication that I've made it. And a lot of us like have that in our head. And when I went to Japan, I got myself out of that, to where I was like, I just love wrestling. I love traveling the world and getting to meet all these people. But then like, of course, like you can come back and you have like your up and downs, and when you get in your downs, you're just like, man, like I need a contract. Like I'm not doing well right now, like whatever. And then I went back to Mexico, and it reminded me of that again. And I was just on this high of just like, I just want to wrestle anywhere. Like I don't care about signing with a big company. Like I want to go somewhere where I can still travel the world and continue to learn. And then of course, like with the pandemic happening, and it's like a lot of us lost our other jobs, and just other incomes were slowing down. Like you start to get that like feeling of like desperation again. And you tend to forget that it's like you're not waiting for someone to pick you. Like you need to pick the company that fits best for you. Like I'm picking you, and who's ever like interested in me. And so like in the past few months, I've really kind of like gained that confidence again, being like, no, like I need to shop around because wrestling's starting to pick up again as far as like a lot of other companies. And so we're very like thankful for that. Before, when we only had like 1 or 2 companies open because of the pandemic, but
Right.
I think we're seeing like a lot of build and positivity happening in wrestling again, and it's starting to start back up. So it's like I really want to like take my time. Like I know that these companies are interested in stuff, but like I'm very honest as far as like I need to figure out like what's best for me in my personal life, my career life, what I think I need to do. And so yeah, I'm just trying to like take my time and really like weigh the options. And I know that like when I feel like this is it, like that's when I'll like commit to them.
Right. We know you'll do what's best for you and you'll make the right decision.
Yes. And like it's scary because it's like you could end up somewhere and you end up hating it, or it's not what you thought, or whatever. So it's really like, okay, I need to like ride the wave a little bit and figure it out. But just getting like I started to take like indie bookings again because I think a lot of people are taking like a lot of precautions as far as safety, and a lot of people more people are getting vaccinated, and it feels better than absolutely better than it did a year ago. So I'm just excited for that too, because like that really is where I think you gain so much momentum and so many people get their confidence back, because like true wrestling fans like are like the best fans ever. Like they will go see you at that backyard indie show, and they will go see you like at WrestleMania. Like it's really cool like that they're so loyal.
Daniel, I know you had a couple questions. Why don't you go ahead?
Got a couple questions.
Yeah.
First of all, you are involved in a contest right now, are you not?
Oh yeah, the Maxim cover girl. I was like, I was back and forth with deciding to do it or not, but yeah.
You are currently in second place as of this afternoon. You were in first place recently when I checked. So what's that experience like? Like, do you just send in some photos and then, or is it, how does that work?
Yeah, so I actually, I did it 2 years ago, and it's just like submitting, like it is like pictures and like telling a little bit about yourself, and they're just like, oh, okay, like we accept you, you're in the contest and stuff. And I was just like 2 years ago, it was all for fun. And I was just like, let's just see like where this goes. Like, this is kind of a cool thing. I was like, I could win $25,000. Who doesn't want to win money? Like, I was like, why not? And I actually like got a lot further than like I was expecting. And that's when it started to get like very stressful. Like we were literally like, whether I was with my friends or my family, like we were watching it to the like countdown, because it would go from like second to first to second to first, and then it made it to like quarterfinals, which was like top 1% of everyone in the contest. And so I was like, I would actually win $25,000 and be on the cover. And it like literally, I got so ticked off because I was like, it was like the end of the contest, and it was like 2 minutes left in like the deadline for like the number one and quarterfinals to like continue, and I was first. And like I like literally, I'm not even exaggerating, like probably within 30 seconds of the of the closing of submissions, like I moved to second.
eBay snipers.
So I didn't like move on, and I was like, I'm done with this. And I didn't do it last year because it was so stressful, and it's like a lot of time, because like everything is like a week, and so it turns into like a couple of months. So you're just so invested in it. But I was like, okay, you know what? I'll just do it again because like it's there.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool if I win. But I was like, no, I can't get like last time, because I was like, it was like a shot in my heart.
Well, we are certainly rooting for you. Everyone go vote
Thank
right
you.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Got a couple more here. I want to talk about your time in Stardom, and I want to hear all about that because I am very interested in everything that happens in Japan.
Oh, awesome. I mean, it was one of the best experiences of my life. Like, I felt like I was getting thrown into the sharks. Like, I celebrated my 1-year wrestling anniversary over there. And so, like, you're wrestling with, like, some of the best girls in the world. And, like, it's very intimidating. But it made me grow up so fast as far as, like, just feeling more confident in the ring. And everyone there is just, like, there to help you. And it was, like, the best time of my life. Like, I was just like, I didn't want to leave. I wanted to go back, and I would like hopefully want to go back soon. But I know like the world's like so crazy now, so it's like very limited. But I mean, it truly was like one of the life experiences. Like I'm gonna tell like as long as I live. Like just how amazingly accepted I felt, and I never felt like I was like below anyone. And I feel like I kind of got that sometimes like in the US in wrestling, like because it is so competitive. And so some people really like you to know like your place, like you're new, like you might be good, but I'm not going to let you know you're good, and I'm not going to let other people know you're good either. Like it can get catty like that. And I just felt like in Japan, it's like they brought you in as like an athlete, a competitor, like, and they want to bring out the best in you. And I felt like that really happened. And when I came back, like I was ready to roll. I was like, had so much more confidence and just like wanted to stand up for myself like a little more when I came back, and being like, yeah, like I accept that I'm new and stuff, but like, it's like I want us to have a great match as much as like I want myself to have a good match and you to have a good match. Like it's about like the whole show. It's about the camaraderie and the teamwork of really making magic out there. And I think that's what like makes wrestling, that's what makes it like real and special, is like when you're just like I'm working hard for everybody.
That is very cool. Very, very cool. We'll talk about some other promotions too. You've spent some time in SWE Fury as well as some other promotions kind of around the country. Where would you like to work? Will you ever go back to SWE? And who are some of your dream opponents?
Yeah, I would love to go back to SWE. Like I probably would have gone there already because like it is in Texas and I'm from Texas. So like any time I get to wrestle in Texas, I'm just like, that's great, because that's when like my family can see me, because they haven't seen me wrestle in probably over a year and a half at this point. And but I was like slowing down like my bookings and what I was taking just to like be safe. And I was going to like AEW like regularly, so like I had that and wanted to like focus on that. But like I know like during 2020 like COVID year, like I was supposed to like go make my debut in Canada. I would love to go to UK because my grandma's from there, so I think it would just be like a really cool thing to be able to do that. And that's where a lot of the girls that I wrestled with were from in Japan. They were from UK, so like I would love to go over there and like hopefully like wrestle them again, or they just have so much talent over there too. I think it's just like one of those like, I mean they're stacked. I mean they have their whole like WWE UK because they had so many great people.
Right. Very cool. I think we touched on all the rest of my questions. Sarah, what else do you got?
Bryan, do you have any other questions?
I do, actually. I have a couple. I didn't actually know that you were in Stardom. I just got my subscription to Stardom.
Oh, it's great.
What year was that? Because I want to go back and definitely watch it.
It would have been like 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was like the very, very beginning of the year, because like when I went there, it was the new year. Yeah, it was 2020. I'm just like, what happened? Like COVID threw me off in my mind. Yeah, because I think I made my debut 2017. So it would have been like January 2018. And like I was very first match of the New Year's show, and I was the very first person to enter out there. So like I was just like, okay, I'm gonna pee my pants right now.
So who, when you were getting into wrestling, or were you a fan of wrestling prior to getting involved?
So not like, I grew up around it because my family, I had cousins, I had like friends who would watch it, all that. But like so softball was my life growing up, and nothing mattered to me more than that. That was my first love. And I was just like, I'm going to be in softball forever. And like, I just had like all these goals. Like some people was like, were like, I want to go to WrestleMania. Like I was like, I want to play in the Olympics.
Okay.
And it was always there. And like, I always like enjoyed it when it was there, but it was never like my focus. But as I like started to get older, and like especially I would be around it, so now like my cousin's kids are more watching it consistently, and that's when I was like seeing it again, and I was like, you know what, like this is actually like, this is freaking cool. I'd be like, and it was like when the women would start to get to do more, and I was just like, this is just awesome, like I want to do that. And it was like my cousin actually who grew up watching it that was like, yeah, I've always told you you would be great at this, but it's like one of those things like, you don't listen to me. So, and like one day I just like, I started to get like more into it. And like after like some time when I was just really trying to figure out like, what do I want to do with my life? And I was like, you know what? Like I had like a little checklist of like, you know, you're just like making a list, like, what am I going to be? Architect, doctor, professional wrestler. Like you're just going through the list of like, what can I do with my life? And like, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go try this. And there was a wrestling school down the street that used to be Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy. Now it's Texas Wrestling Academy. And I went and I tried it, and I was like, you know what? I hate it. I hate it. I have my other list of things that I can try, but I went and I never left. Like I just fell in love with it. I was like, this is what I was meant to be doing all along. And I really was just like, man, I wish I started earlier. But I told myself, I was like, there's no wasted time. I was like, I feel like everything that I had done up in my life until then, I think like really set me up for being able to be strong, like mentally and physically, to be able to deal with this stuff. Cause like it is just, it takes such a toll on you, because it just is more than anything such a mental sport, with what you deal inside the ring to outside of the ring to the internet to, man, if these people only knew what's actually going on. But you just have to like go out there and just keep pushing through. And I think it makes you grow so much if you can really push through that. Like I think the people in wrestling are really strong people.
All right, so as we get ready to wrap up here, I like to end every show with a little 6-question rapid fire game.
Okay.
Mixture of wrestling and non-wrestling. Just go with the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
What is your dream city that you'd love to go and wrestle in that you haven't been to yet?
California.
Where would be your ultimate dream vacation? Money's no factor.
Like, this is where I'm like, I don't know geography. I mean, like dream vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd love to like go back to Jamaica. I didn't spend a lot of time there, but I loved it.
If you only have one ice cream flavor for the rest of your life, what are you picking?
I think just classic vanilla.
That's actually my favorite.
Yeah, it just can't go wrong.
Mm-mm. If you could main event at either WrestleMania, Bound for Glory, or Double or Nothing, which one are you taking?
WrestleMania.
Who would be your female legendary dream match? Somebody that's not wrestling anymore. Trish, yes.
Yeah.
And final question: what is your favorite non-pink color?
I really like green.
Green. Yes.
Yeah, like like pale greens. Like I love like pastel colors. Like think of Easter. Like the green you would think that you correspond with Easter is that green I like.
Seafoam.
That's such a beautiful way of describing it and like making everybody realize what exactly you're talking about.
Yes.
And I'm like horrible at describing things. Like even at wrestling, I'm like, I'm gonna do this thing. Like it makes it sound like I'm about to like just blow everyone's mind in the world. And I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna like roll.
All right, so we're ready to wrap things up here. Alex, where can our fans find you if they want to look you up?
Yeah, so on Twitter and Instagram, it's Alex Gracia 3. Pretty simple. And then I have Facebook, or alexgracia.net is where you can like I'll put like little updates on there with certain things and like merchandise. And so yeah, that's it. Alex Gracia 3 is the main one.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. You can find us at BuckleBomb ENT on Twitter, Facebook page, BuckleBomb Entertainment, as well as YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to check out Alex Gracia on NWA, AEW. And soon she has a wrestling match coming up in Mission Pro Wrestling against Marty Bell. We wish you the best of luck. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
It's a pleasure.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.